On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, we once again have a full tavern. That's right. Besides Kidder, myself, we got the local geek, we got JS Gunslinger, we have a returning Doc, we have a returning Big Badda Boom. We're going to have a good time. The drinks are going to be flowing. Somebody's going to be drunk by the end of the show. We're going to try some brew candy. Is it any good? We'll find out. I guarantee, if you loved last week, this is more of that and even better. It's all a good time. And of course it should be, because you're in a good place. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and V-Mark Kidder. Pour a cold beverage, pull pussies, enjoy time with friends.
Triple B! Well, the Triple B sucks. Okay? Oh, come on.
Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast that promises JS isn't drunk yet, but he might be later. I am your host, the living embodiment of Charlie Brown, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the Mark Kidder. Kidder, how you doing tonight?
Starting ready to go, Howard Blues. Here we go. Another same hockey game happening. Good times.
What is that? Like the 50th, 60th overtime?
About, yes.
Yeah.
Who's playing?
Who's playing?
It'd be the Avs and some inferior team. That's all that needs to be known.
The Utah Hockey Club. They're so new and nobody cares that they don't even have a mascot.
Yeah. And if you, the audience, is wondering, who is that who just popped in? Why, it's none other than Big Badda Boom, returning this week. How are you doing this evening?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Never better.
Good. Good. Well, welcome back for another round of the Triple B. And hey, the tavern is still full. We still got a lot of people here and still coming in from the shower for some reason. It's one JS Gunslinger. JS, how you doing this week?
I am doing great. I am playing with a little tile gun here. If you couldn't tell, I've made some little progress. Well, maybe not since last week, but since the week before. We're going for a record on the most episodes of a podcast ever done from a shower. So here's episode number 375 from the shower.
76.
Actually, no, it's just 6.
I'm curious to know if Guinness actually tracks that anywhere.
Well, I bet you if we get over 100, we could probably call them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I have to actually pay to get your records verified, I learned. And bringing up the whole rules when it comes to, Guinness Book of World Records, it's also one of our newer guests making his return to the show. It is none other than the Doc, Curtis. Curtis, how you doing tonight?
I am doing well.
You got a nice forest indoor arboretum this week.
Yeah, I decided you gotta change it up a little bit,
Get outside.
Get some of that oxygen in the room here. So put those trees to work.
And you just can't go to work without a great plate of bacon and eggs, and apparently that's what the local geek is disguised as he, tries to sneak into this show. I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyway, the local geek is here as well. Local geek, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing excellent.
Oh, God, the puns.
I've been thinking of that since last week.
Got to be careful. You're going to get grilled.
I may. That's why I got rid of it. I stuck around long enough for the pun, and that was it for me.
He's gonna
served on a plate.
He's gonna shell shock our guests with all this punnery. Eventually
all the yolk.
We used to have a dad joke segment, and then for whatever reason, it just stopped.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's because
Yeah, that used to be a thing. The book is around here somewhere. I
got it here. It's going to be one great for Kidder too. So,
Yeah.
you guys are familiar with Chad Kroeger from Nickelback?
Chad
He,
Kroeger.
Well, I mean,
Yep.
Nickelback, of course, we're familiar with them. It's Kidder's favorite band.
Yeah.
Right, let's see, right back there in his screen, he's got a signed poster of Nickelback as a 1,000 concert fan.
I thought that was a Metallica album.
Chad has a hobby that he appears in
JS's eyes are
living
going.
nativity scenes, and he's played just about every role. He's been Mary, he's been Jesus, he's even been the back end of a donkey before, but he never made it as a wise man.
That's a good one.
Yes.
As kind of the Triple B historian, a couple of interesting things. JS is not wrong. There was a while where Future Howard was trolling Kidder by switching his stuff in the background to Nickelback posters. So that did used to happen. So I can understand that misconception. Also, the sad thing is I lost the dad joke book. It's somewhere around here. But the worst part is the last time we did that segment, I'm like, oh, next week's going to be a good one. And I've never then came back to it to tell the joke that was in there. And our last joke out of the book for tonight. Doctor, there's a patient on line 1 that says he's invisible. Well, tell him I can't see him right now.
No dark ones this time, huh?
No, nothing too dark. That'll be an interesting joke next week. I got the punchline of something, and I don't know how I feel about it.
All right,
Tune in
I've got
next
one.
week to find out. That's like the longest teaser we've had on this show. And speaking of, not getting around to things, we should get around to everybody's favorite segment of the show, and that is What's on Tap. And, I'm just going to go in reverse order of last week because I can somehow remember that. But Big Badda Boom, I think you're leading off. What are you having?
Sounds good. I'm taking a journey today off to Italy. I have here a liqueur that I want to try with you guys. It's called Frangelico. I'll read to you what's on the tab on the front. It says, according to legend, Friar Angelico lived 3 centuries ago in the rolling hills of Piedmont in the shadows of the Italian Alps. Though his love and knowledge of nature, he created a precious liqueur made from carefully selected hazelnuts and other secret ingredients. We continue the tradition by proudly offering this fine liqueur in honor of his name. So it's 25% alcohol per volume, so it's 40 proof. And as you can see, the bottle kind of looks like a monk or a friar. Let's just put it that way. So here it is. I'm not going to show you the front of this glass because it would give things away, but here we go. Very hazelnut forward. I mean, it's almost like extract of hazelnut. Very sweet. Delicious, actually. Light. You don't feel the booze. Yeah. I think this is a good something to have after a good meal. So yeah, those are my notes.
I was looking at that exact bottle when I picked up the other stuff for the no, I'm going to say Christmas gifts, but it's probably more like punishment. I looked at it and I put it back because I didn't know. But now
It's
now I'm
actually
curious. That
it's actually really good. It's hazelnut flavored, sweet, not very boozy. It's kind of like maybe something that you would have after a meal or so just to digest. It's delicious actually.
I'm thinking like a coffee additive, maybe. I mean, I would never do that,
Hey,
but
You know what? I might add that as something to it to give it that flavor.
right? A good weekend coffee when you're not actually like trying to get up and go to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to know.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump over to the doc. Curtis, what are you having?
So I'm visiting my sister, so I don't have a whole lot of options here and just have to go with what's available. So for the first one tonight, we are having the Simply Spiked watermelon.
Ooh.
It's 5%
We took
alcohol by volume. I do not like watermelon, so let's see how this goes.
The face says it all.
TV static taste.
I don't know if maybe a 1, honestly. Like it's really sour. Even though I like sour things, but it's not a good sour. Yeah, I don't know that I would recommend this to anyone, honestly.
If you like sour things, I need to get you some of the sour cranberries I bought.
Ooh.
That actually sounds good, but yeah, this not so much.
I like how it's Curtis's second episode ever, and he's already gotten into the spirit of the Triple B of trying weird or stuff you wouldn't normally have. So kudos, sir. Kudos.
That's why he's got his dog.
Got my Haribo candy cane gummies over here as a chaser in between.
Yeah.
And even though they're candy cane gummies and they're red, white, and green, the flavors are not what you would expect. They are cherry, plum, and candy apple. Oh. I thought candy cane would be peppermint. No. So it's also a little bit off-putting, but better than what's in the can.
If you really want to play a joke on somebody, get them one of the big bags of sugar-free Hasbro gummy bears.
That is not a joke.
They have effects.
No.
Doc, just for your worst enemies.
Yes.
I don't know. Like there's certain things that I don't know. There's certain things that for me, even for my worst enemies, That was the blueberry beer that we talked about last week that we all got a 6-pack of, and I opened the one. I didn't know what to do with the other 5 because I wouldn't even give those to my worst enemies. So I don't know what I ended up doing with them.
Ooh.
The sugar-free gummies don't taste that bad, but they seem to have how should we say this, a laxative effect.
Do they have xylitol in them? Yeah. Xylitol is a common sugar replacement that, yes, it has that effect.
I think that is the one.
The reviews that I was seeing on this bag were nothing short of explosive.
Yeah.
That does not sound like a good episode here at Beer Blues and BS.
Next week I'll send you all some xylitol gum, and then we can see how that goes.
Oh boy,
gum.
They do make gum. Well, it's mostly in Asian countries that they have xylitol gum, but
that's interesting. I've been gum free pretty much for almost 10 years.
Wow.
I've heard the xylitol gum is supposed to be like the cure for all your teeth problems.
I mean, it might help your teeth, but it's not going to help the rest of you.
Yes. Local Geek,
what is the doc?
I am having a I'm visiting the Bismarck Distillery myself. I think it was visited a couple times last week. I'm having the bourbon cola, and I also, because of knowing Kidder's response to it, I have brought my own bourbon downstairs. I've got some Elijah Craig small batch, so I will probably add that to it after I've tried it as itself and spice it up a little bit. It smells really good. And yeah, I would agree with the assessments that have been had on it in the past, that it's kind of like a bottom shelf rail whiskey mixed with a generic cola. So I will spice it up a little bit with the Elijah Craig and just give it that little extra kick.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was a bourbon cola that was missing the bourbon.
This Elijah Craig is a very good bourbon for the price point of it. I think I paid $23 for that bottle. So
Keep that in mind.
Hey, local geek, I got a question for you. How does that rate in comparison to a beer that I know I tried and I think you tried over the Christmas holidays? That was a dark imperial stout with cola in it.
the Thanksgiving, the one you're thinking of?
Was it a Thanksgiving beer? I can't remember.
Yeah, that one was awful.
How does this one compare to this, though?
This is great compared to that.
Oh,
The one Big Badda Boom is referring to is the Surly Cola Darkness.
That just sounds bad.
Yeah, it was a imperial stout with cola added to it, and they did not blend well.
No. No. Not at all.
We also had a chocolate limoncello darkness, which was really good.
speak for yourself, buddy.
All right. JS, what you having?
3 $1 bills. Since Howie brought this one up, I think we're both going to try this one at the same time. I have a compliments of Howie himself, still brewing Wild Sour Series Cherry Pie. It is inspired by the nostalgic flavors of your favorite dessert. This sour ale is refreshingly tart and slightly sweet. Taste adventure that will keep you coming back for more, unless you're Kidder. So cheers! Sour ale with natural flavors, 4.9% alcohol, 10 IBUs. Support Flavor Boycott Bland Distill Brewing, Normal, Illinois. Let's check this shit out.
I can actually smell the cherries coming out of that out of the can.
Good stout crack on the can there, so that's a good start. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it's got that maraschino cherry smell to it.
Gross.
Ooh. Definitely cherry in this beer.
Do
If I
it,
throw up,
like-
y'all are gonna owe me something.
Straight up. Tasted like one of the maraschino cherries that you get, bright red ones that you get out of the jar.
ice
So
cream
you-
toppers.
Yeah, you taste the cherry, but do you taste the pie?
I mean, kinda.
Yeah, this doesn't have like we've had a couple of these wild sour series on the show, and usually when it's a pie form, it's got some lactose in it to give it that creamy aftertaste to really sell the pie. And this doesn't have that.
Yeah. Woo! I think I just got sent back in time.
What's that song? Cheeky Cherry Cola or something like that?
She's my cherry pie.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's talking about the Savage Garden one.
Yeah,
Yes. I want you.
Who wants
thanks,
me?
Kidder.
Cherry cola. Ugh.
I'd probably rate this about. No, I'd probably go about a 3.7 on it.
I know what Killer's rating is going to be.
Nil.
Oh, it's
I
going to
wish
be
I
worse than
didn't
that.
open that, so I could have pawned it off on somebody else. Because
Mark, I mean,
The
you
drain.
when you rate this, you have to rate it either better or worse than Malort. I mean, that's your standing.
you realize
Or
I gave
tractor-
Malort
or
a
trac-
negative number, right?
Okay, fine.
So
Tractor
this is
beer,
better
tractor
than
beer.
Malort.
Tractor beer.
I think the tractor beer had a negative number too. I don't remember. Local Geek's the one with the spreadsheet.
I think the tractor beer rated worse than the Malort. But I might be wrong. So being it's a pie, this needs a cinnamon, just a little bit of a cinnamon aftertaste to it to get that cherry pie flavor. It's missing. If it had that, I'd probably agree with Howie and go right up in there. But I'm going to go with a 3 because it's missing something from it. It's not bad. I mean, I'd have one of these in a restaurant if I was getting a drink or so. Not going to be something I love cherry. It's missing something. I think maybe just a hint of cinnamon would. In fact, you know what? We're going to try that. Just a hint of cinnamon, I think, would probably do it. I'll go grab some in just a second. But I'm going to go with a 3. Not going to be my first choice on a hot summer day, but won't be the last either.
JSU rated the tractor beer a whole 0.5% higher than Malort. Or Malort got 0.5% higher than the tractor beer. I mean, sorry, I got them backwards.
See, I told you that tractor beer was freaking terrible.
That was not good.
I do not think I have ever had anything worse than that tractor beer, and that's saying a lot because I drank Malort.
I think that may be the lowest one you have rated on the whole sheet. I'd have to do some kind of Excel calculation to find that because there's way too many drinks been had. But
it's got to be because that was straight up donkey piss.
That one was pretty bad. Yeah.
Howie likes IPA, and Howie didn't even like the tractor beer.
I didn't. As I said, I was out of my mind when I rated it, and I'm usually one of those like I go with my initial gut rating, and then I'm like I stick with it. Yeah, that was a fail on my part.
I think you need to offer. You know what? You need to have another tractor beer and offer an official apology and a true rating to get it right for the show.
I hate to tell you.
I second that motion.
I hate to tell you, JS. I gave my last tractor beer away. Big Badda Boom drank it last week. I'm not
Was
buying
that the
it.
one that got into my hands?
Yeah. I'm not buying another 6-pack of that, and if I do, I'm sharing. So
Well, you know what? You're in luck because I'm going to be looking for that beer now just for you.
Create a 6-pack and send one over.
Gross.
Cinnamon is it.
Did you find the cinnamon?
Take just a touch of cinnamon and drop in there, and it goes up an entire percentage if you put cinnamon in there.
I got a question. What if you were to add to that, like an Angry Orchard or something that has that bite to it?
Ooh. I don't have any of those. Otherwise, I would try that.
Or a shot of cinnamon. What's that called? That cinnamon.
Fireball.
Fireball. Add a little shot of Fireball to it.
I'm a terrible alcoholic, but I think I'm out of Fireball currently. You know what? That would probably be about perfect. Cherry pie with a shot of Fireball in it. All right, next week. Yeah, that would probably be great. A little bit of cinnamon really makes a big difference, but in the form of Fireball, that might even be better.
JS, I'm not going to tell you where I found the cherry pie because that's also where I found the Central Time IPA. So I'm as a sense of self-preservation.
I think I wrote it down from a previous episode. I have it written down.
I know a fair amount of the local establishments, so yeah.
Yeah, and I think you know where I live, so I think that could help you narrow down where I probably went.
Uh-huh.
Well, we know it's not Holiday because they're not around anymore.
Why do you have to bring the show down, Kidder? Why?
Because you gave me a cherry beer. You deserve everything that's coming to you.
Honestly, I you know when I bought it, I didn't even think about the whole Kidder doesn't like cherry bit. I honestly like, oh, cherry pie. We've enjoyed the other pies these guys have done. I'm buying it for the group. That was the thought.
Peach pie, pecan pie, etc., etc.
Apple pie was one of the other ones that was good. Key lime was really good.
Yeah. So that's what I was going off of was our past pie beer experience and
better days is what you're saying.
I just saying I forgot about the whole Kidder doesn't like cherries. Didn't run through my mind when I saw it.
Howard once again attempts to kill Kidder.
One of these days I'll succeed.
Don't be so dramatic.
I'm gonna bring you a straight up bottle of Luxardo one of these days.
In all fairness, he's the one that said that he might succeed. So there's a credible threat on my life.
He does have murder birds.
Where's you should be able to get Luxardo at one of the establishments in town, but no one has Luxardo anymore. I got to go with some other weird stuff, and I don't like it.
Luxardo as in absinthe?
No, it's a cherry liqueur, and it's a staple in one of the eggnog variants that I like to make. I can't find it anymore. One of the eggnogs that I make is a good bourbon, a good cognac, and a good cherry liqueur. And Luxardo is the one that he recommends, and the three of those together in a homemade eggnog with real egg is freaking perfect. But I can't find it, so I ended up going with real cherries. No. God, no.
Hey, it's good for mixing.
It's also good for making a what's that cake called?
Black Forest cake.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's also good for baking.
That's also like weird enough to be in if you know, you know, but we're not gonna. So, gents, we've been talking a lot about beer that I've shared lately. That's not the only thing I shared with kind of the four main hosts of this. My wife decided for Christmas to gift me the gift of podcast content and in the form of these brew candies. So this is beer-inspired hard candy, and it comes with 3 flavors. There's hoppy IPA, honey ale, and roasty stout. Now, before we try these, one little complaint that I do have on this, in the entire bag, which was supposed to be a mix,
Only one.
there was only 3 of the stouts. All the rest were honey ale and the hoppy IPA.
So these are
mine's
the
double packaged.
individually wrapped ones, right?
Correct. And some of them were double packaged, like the local geek is showing. But
I
this
think it's in a package.
yeah. So these are American made by Swag Brewery LLC. And the whole description on the back of this: we love craft beer a lot, and we wanted a socially acceptable way to enjoy it during all hours of the day. That brown bag isn't fooling anyone. So we put our beer-drenched heads together and started tinkering. A bit of malt sweetness here, a little roasty touch there, a punch of hops in this one, and something truly mouth-changing was born. Tasty little drops of goodness inspired by our favorite craft brews. We hope you enjoy them as much as we do. So I shared, Kidder was kind enough to volunteer not to have the roasty stout. So he passed on that one. So thank you, Kidder, for.
And that's because I know that Local Geek and JS absolutely love the dark beers, and so I wanted them to have it.
I appreciate your sacrifice.
Yeah.
You're good. You're a good man. You are a good man.
That reminds me of a previous episode. An episode with gummies and beer.
Ooh.
Yeah, that
You mean
that was
these?
good episode.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one. I think I spilled that beer too.
I think I can still taste the OC spray from the last dummy I had on the show.
So, gents, which one would you like to try first?
Well, I got the yellow one packaged individually.
Honey ale it is.
I was going to say, I'm guessing it's the hoppy one, but it must be the honey one.
Which is,
The yellow
that
one?
is funny because I guess they are individual, but yeah, got the two of those and the.
Kidder, I did that because I had a feeling, knowing how everybody else feels about IPAs, that nobody would be happy if they got two IPAs in this. So,
Mm-hmm.
and gents, just to be safe, I'm using a scissors instead of my X-Acto knife to open this.
Oh, good. So you can put
Come
the
on,
whole thing
Howie,
through your
you
hand.
can do it.
So,
Smells
What
good.
what I'm a little confused about is the little plastic baggies you put those in. That looks like contraband.
Well, you should see the other candies he brought us. They look like LSD.
so
Nah, they
Wait a
don't,
minute.
they don't get this fancy with contraband. It's usually just a piece of cellophane that's tied really tight.
So I'm gonna have a problem if my home ever gets raided because of like all of the miniatures I have. They a lot of times come in baggies, so I have like bags of miniature baggies all throughout my cave.
Do you have
There's
a
at least-
scale?
There's at least 400 behind me on the floor that I have to find out or figure out what I'm doing with. No, I don't have a scale.
Oh, I mean, you really need a scale to weigh each miniature. And then some baby powder just to make them slippery so they don't stick to your fingers while you're painting them.
I mean, usually I have baking soda because that works well with super glue. I just don't have any down here.
So
I'm just-
this one's the taste on this reminds me of the Jelly Bellies, honestly.
Yeah,
Really?
it is very sweet. I'm not picking up any sort of like ale. It is a very honey flavor.
I'm getting honey, but I'm kind of getting that ale flavor, just a bit. Granted, I just got done drinking cinnamon cherry, so and coffee.
Sounds like you need a palate cleanser. May I suggest a shot of whiskey?
Or my lord.
Yourself. It's a taste it is.
Local Geek's going to have a wonderful time trying to catch all of the extra shots that are happening outside of what's on tap.
I usually do pretty good, but I still miss some of Kidder's IPAs, though.
I think he's going to have to do them again.
That's what I said.
Yeah. If it didn't get recorded, it didn't happen. So, like, for posterity, you have to do it again.
He probably knew that we weren't.
I did just find 3 more IPAs in my fridge. Last week.
That's okay. Next August will once again be IPA Appreciation Month, and
No,
I'm gonna be.
It is specifically for your birthday, Kidder. It's exactly why it's being done. It's all for you.
I'd rather not have a birthday.
I see a trend happening. So everybody's birthday on the month, we choose a style that we want to try.
That's the problem. I didn't get to try or choose.
Oh.
Well, so 3 or 4 IPAs for your birthday month, Kidder.
Because I like the beers I have to chew, but my birthday's in June, so I don't want to do chewy beers in June. If it was in December, absolutely.
What do you call a chewy beer? Now I'm intrigued.
Like coffee stout, dragon's milk,
Okay.
Guinness extra stout,
2
like
C's.
I think
Dark beers.
I think you're safe though, because if you're going to follow the pattern, it needs to be like your least favorite beer during your birthday month.
Yeah.
Well, then it would just be more IPAs, and we don't need more IPAs.
Every month will be IPA month all year.
That's actually how it started. Was like last January. I made the joke to Kidder about IPA Appreciation Month on August. Like, wouldn't it be great if we did this? And I kept that joke up, and then I actually made it happen. So
it actually like sticks in his cross so much.
That was a real thing.
Yeah, well, it sticks in his cross so much that he actually made the comment to me last week when we were at the liquor store, and he was like, yeah, they had to make August IPA Appreciation Month just because."
And there was 5 weeks in August too.
There was a 5-week month. Yeah, indeed.
yeah,
It was either week 3 or 4 before I finally figured out that this isn't a real thing, and then wanted to kill Howard.
But for legal reasons and prosecution, that actually wasn't a thing.
Yes, exactly.
yeah, that's okay. You guys got your revenge. The amount of swearing that occurred during those episodes that I had to censor, it was just. It was a good punch back. I'll say that.
Yeah, and just keep it up, Howie. I know where I got the juice from, so we can have another one of those episodes.
Yeah, we'll maybe pass. I finished the honey. You guys are ready to move on to the next.
Let's do it.
Function power. I'm still playing with it.
Okay.
You got to chew it up, man. It does impart
the candy.
It imparts a little different flavor when you chew it.
Is there a liquid center, or is it hard?
It's hard.
It's hard.
But I'm getting a licorice flavor, like a little bit of an anise in this. Maybe it's just me because I'm weird and I like licorice, but I'm getting I
love licorice and I'm not getting it.
Same. I love licorice and I haven't even tried it.
I mean, Big Badda Boom, you are in the area. I could send you at least the 2 other flavors.
Let me guess. IPA and what?
Honey ale. So
that is true. Just send them over to Mark or to Derek. I'm nearby both.
Okay. I'll set some aside, and next time I run into Derek, I'll pass them along for you.
Mark is like a stone throw away almost.
And you're just now coming on the show? I thought you were in like Canada or something.
What do you mean Canada? You mean Chicago, right?
I mean, he does like Malort, so he could be from some really exotic, strange place.
Drinking, you could be from Chicago. You don't have the accent, though.
That's true.
Which one of these are we gonna crack opens out, Howard?
Well, Kidder, the only other one that Kidder's got is the IPA, so we should probably try that one next.
You son of a.
Biscuit.
Hey, my wife lovingly gave this so that we could all suffer together.
You know what? And we thank Lefty for it. It's great content.
Yeah.
And the other one's been really good. So
It
No.
smells like hops.
Is it? But is it rank like stinky?
tastes
No,
like Christmas tree.
Ooh.
So pine.
It doesn't start off quite like that, but it builds.
Yes, it does.
It smells like zest.
It tastes like what I would imagine a bear turd on a leaf would be like. This is gross.
Oh, what the hell?
Gross.
I am one of the kids that has had a zest bar of soap in my mouth from saying the things I shouldn't. This tastes very, very similar. Either that or Irish Spring, one or the other. I don't know which one.
Zestful thing.
I have to agree with JS. There's a very soapy taste to this one.
Yeah.
I was thinking almost like biting into a juniper berry.
Oh, you're too polite.
It's not great.
I had to drink the cherry to clean the palate.
A cherry.
Oh.
Like the honey ones. The honey ones were decent. This not so much, and I have a lot of these left.
Who are you going to give them to? That's the question.
That is the
Start making a
question.
list.
Big Badda Boom.
Well, notice you. I mean, you're in town, so
Shit.
That's the kind of thing that I wonder if I just don't get a candy dish and put it out at work and just don't say anything.
You are an asshole.
I wish I had whiskey to wash that last one down.
You want to borrow some?
I mean, surprisingly, I don't have any whiskey in this house. For as much as I use it as a catchphrase, I have Malort. I refuse to drink it.
It's a good palate cleanser.
My taste.
Well, the question is, would the Malort be better than the taste you currently have in your mouth?
That's a very good question, Doc.
I nearly
No.
I nearly banned the local geek from this show when he did the Malort on it.
I heard.
That was
I have a shot of that in my fridge for some unsuspecting asshole that comes over here.
hey JS, is there a shoot this Sunday?
Now that you mentioned it, hey Kidder, you're on day shift. There's a shoot on Sunday.
I'm suddenly not.
I will put in a good one for your boss to get you a box or two of ammo. It starts at noon. Bring your ass out here.
I might be sleeping at the time. I might be
Won't
dead at the
even
time,
make you drink
judging
more.
by all of this crap. I might
won't
be
even
dead.
make you drink Malort. You should really come to the one on Sunday. It's going to be a good time.
Did we all ditch the IPA one? I chewed mine up and got rid of it.
I chewed mine to finish it too. But it's still lingering. I took a drink of this cherry pie beer hoping that would kill it. No.
This
I
stout got no
Mark
odor.
tried the same thing and it didn't work for him.
I know. I don't have a shot glass down here, otherwise I would break into the if you know you know bottles and try and kill it, but I don't.
You could just take a pull right from the bottle.
Who do you think I am, JS?
Wow.
It's
Throwing
the best way to
shade.
drink bourbon. That's how I drink
I
my
don't know what
bullet
you're talking
bourbon.
about, you son of a pig.
Howard doesn't have bourbon down here. This is all stuff that really should not be drank as shots.
Hey, if you sip it slow enough, it's just a drink.
Should not doesn't mean cannot.
Oh. So Curtis, this whole thing started as a little game where to mess with Local Geek, because he keeps a spreadsheet of every drink we've had on the show. I started doing these mystery shots. I just put it as if you know, and then I would give a hint towards what it was. And I picked some things that were just not great. It was kind of, the first round was stuff that Howard randomly had in his liquor cabinet. So that was kind of painful. So then I went out and bought some stuff.
What in your cabinet is beyond me.
Well, the second set was all stuff that I bought because I thought I could tolerate it for if you know, you know. And one of them was purely terrible, and I have now moved that one around in the order so that JS doesn't know where it's at.
It's one. You should have that one.
No. No. Not for all the tea. That one's also the furthest one away. So
I mean, it was always 3, but after I continually kept picking 3, he had to move them.
That Local Geek figured them out, and I finished one of them. I finished the peppermint schnapps. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't bad. That one was okay. Anyway, enough stalling. We should try this stout.
Yeah, it's got no odor.
Oh, I'm still cleaning my palate from the zest.
I'm going to give it a try.
And right off the bat, I'm getting some caramel.
Very much a coffee flavor to it.
Yep.
Almost there.
This one's good. This is probably my favorite one.
Yeah, this one's really good. Good. It's a shame there were only 3 in this bag. What the hell?
I must be drunk because I can't smell anything anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's pretty good.
Yeah, there's the coffee.
This one's really good. I like this one.
I wonder if you could buy just that one.
I doubt it.
Well, I just found at least one website that sells the candies, and they are sold out of the mixed bag.
But do they have other bags?
That is all they have, it looks like.
Just mix?
I'll bet they have IPA.
Are they sold out of the IPA? Because if they are, I feel very sorry for the unsuspecting victim.
They also sell hot sauce, barbecue sauce, and soap.
So maybe the soap got in your candy bag.
Oh.
They have 6 cents of beer soap.
All right, JS already pulled out the 22.
I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Are you still citing that in from last week?
Still playing with it from last week. I am that excited. It's awesome.
Hey.
JS is like, if I didn't have to be on this podcast, I'd go shoot something right now.
I would. I mean, I literally just have to open my front door and I have a clear shot shooting range. There's a shoot tomorrow will take place, Karen. You should come to.
I think the first firearm I ever shot was a 9 millimeter. 9 millimeter. Oh my god, I'm slurring from this. That's not good.
Welcome to the Triple B.
Slur. Speaking of which, gentlemen, over at Oscars, they have a new drink on tap called Slurm. Similar to Slur, but hey, I think I'll bring it up.
Is that a Futurama reference?
It is.
We are a fan of Oscars on the show, so
perfect.
Same thing with the Thomas and Moriarty's. We are a fan of them too. Rachel is the best bartender. So,
Professor
you know.
Rachel, speaking about last week, I know I had a lot of Malort last week in that showing, but Professor Rachel made about a month or so ago, made several drinks with Malort in it, and they were fantastic.
She made them. They could probably taste good, but she's the only person that could make Malort be drinkable.
What do you mean?
Why do you gotta say it like that?
Just- no.
Why do you gotta say it like that? What do you mean? What?
I thought, I thought Malort straight up with, I don't know, seltzer or a beer tasted marvelous.
I think you're wrong.
Are you drinking yourself?
A beer? What?
Seltzer or a beer.
Oh, a seltzer. I thought
Seltzer.
you said you like salsa. You're like,
Seltzer.
I get a chip and a salsa. I've had too much of this garbage. I got to get rid of it. It's a salsa.
Because he's slurring his words.
Garbage.
I'm not slurring.
Oh,
Not yet. It's not an imperial. I haven't had an imperial yet.
all right.
You want one?
All right.
Oh God.
I have one of those in my fridge.
That's all I have for my personal stash is like above 7% alcohol. All beers right now.
That's
That was not a good Thanksgiving.
Or was it?
I mean,
This is a good story. This was 2 or 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
On Thanksgiving, he came over to our house to celebrate Thanksgiving with us, and he brought along a Surly 13, not having a clue what an Imperial Stout was, and cracked it open at 11 o'clock in the morning on an empty stomach and drank half of it.
Is that like when you bring a 40 for your, the party, but it's just for yourself?
Breakfast?
Yeah, breakfast. I think 20 or 30 minutes after drinking it, I was passed out on the couch.
Something like that.
Drunk.
It was before dinner or before lunch.
Before lunch, before 11, before noon, I was drunk already on a single beer, on half a beer.
He quickly learned what Imperial means in beer terms.
that's a hard way to learn it.
Never
That
felt
was this
better.
guy.
Oh yeah, you have the can. Oh yes, that was
Where do you get all the fancy boxes?
They're at the big place out east.
Ah, I see.
The liquor
also cannot say.
store?
They're also like $13 a can.
Yeah, okay. I don't like them that much.
That's become our Thanksgiving tradition, though. Since that year, we buy one of those and we have it on Thanksgiving.
I mean, if it gets you that tuned up,
$13 might be worth it. Yeah.
yeah.
You don't need any other drink for the whole day.
That one was really good. That was the maple one, as you probably saw in the box. The ones we had this year weren't so great, but
Yeah. And hey, but depending on how you feel about your family, you might need that to get through the day.
I mean, I was already passed out by 11:45.
last year it was this one. It was the 15, which is a Grand Cru, which probably 2 months ago I was trying to figure out where I had a Grand Cru before. Yeah, turns out it was Thanksgiving a couple years ago or last year.
Yeah. That was also another kind of terrible beer.
Yeah, that one wasn't great. The Surly one was good. I like that one.
I'll keep that in mind.
So for next episode, since it's nice and cold this nice winter, maybe it should be stouts.
It should be stouts. You're correct.
I'm not buying you guys a month worth of stouts.
Dang, Howard, I really hate those stouts. Those stouts are the grossest beers ever.
Oh, well, since Mark said it, maybe we should.
So next week's going to be stouts. I'm going to hang on to this next beer and just make a whiskey coke or a whiskey drink instead.
The challenge with doing like a different beer And the reason why IPAs work is because there's so many stinking IPAs that you can buy variety packs that are nothing but that. And I can cover a whole month pretty easily. You don't get like a variety pack of stouts. I'd have to buy individual things, and that would add up price-wise pretty quick. So
it's unbelievable how many people on this planet have no taste in beer.
But yeah, I just think that it's a shame that like you can get so many variety packs that are just IPAs, but you can't do it with anything else. You know, that's
well, and I think part of that has to do with a phase. I think it goes back maybe about a decade or so that IPAs started to come back. And
it's too bad, really.
And everything became a phase, you know, with hazies and double haze or double IPAs or whatever they're called. And honestly, to the point that my parents actually, they only love IPAs. They don't want to drink anything else. I'm like, what's wrong with your palate?
I think that there's so many of them, and it's. Yeah, but that's why like I can do IPA Appreciation Month is because there's just so much variety out there that I can pick up enough to spread to 4 people fairly reasonably. Where if I had to do it for any other beer, it would be cost prohibitive, you know. So that's the other reason why IPA Appreciation Month can happen and none of the others. So sorry,
you're not wrong.
That's just the way it is. But it's a shame to me that there's just so many of those, and there's so many other really good beers out there that I don't think get enough love.
Mountain Time.
That's a great example.
Hey,
Central Time.
Hey, JS.
There's a thing you say.
Oh, you mean, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to everybody's second favorite segment on the show, and that is What's on Tap? Round 2. Drink.
Bareface and Dr. Pepper. It's awesome.
I have said that line, so many times you wouldn't think I'd be able to screw it up, and I almost did there.
Yeah.
Ooh. You're gonna try that. Like, okay, the spices and the stuff they put in Dr. Pepper bring out the flavor in certain whiskeys really, really good, and Barefaced is one of them. Pepper is one of my favorite mixes for, like, if I'm gonna mix a whiskey and have some kind of a whiskey cola, I'm gonna use Dr. Pepper if I get a chance, because the spices in the Dr. Pepper just bring out the flavor in that, and that is fucking good. I mean, you saw how much whiskey I put in there.
How does that taste, JS?
I won't put more in there, but I do have to be productive tomorrow, so.
I have another good mix for you, since you like mixing whiskey and cola.
I'm listening.
Bullet and orange soda, like Fanta.
I've done Bullet and Sunkissed.
Yeah, okay. So there you go.
Fanta, for whatever reason, has a, how should we say this? Explosive effect.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, an orange soda of sorts.
Bullet and Sunkissed is actually really good. Really good. I agree with you 100%.
I had that for the first time with a former colleague of mine, a Marine, who lived here in town, and every weekend that's what we drank. Amazing.
There's a good handful of whiskeys and things that mix really, really good with orange soda.
Yeah.
Was that your network engineer?
Yes, that was my network engineer.
I thought so. Network engineers tend to like their whiskeys.
I'll leave it at that.
So are we going to do this other baggie, Howard?
I mean,
Oh boy.
we could either do it now or we could save it till next week.
I will throw it in my fridge with the beer.
Again, we're talking about baggies, and that's not right.
Again, welcome to the Triple B.
They look like LSD.
I mean, when you bring it up like that, it's even wrong.
Okay, well, I don't know how experienced you are with these type of things. Typically, LSD is in sheet form instead of this much LSD. You would die.
Should I take all three of those at the same time? Asking
Yes.
for myself.
Yes, absolutely. D
Why is nobody else
generally
laughing at that?
D is generally in either a liquid form, almost exclusively in a liquid form. You either use an eye droplet and drop it into your eyeball, or you put it on sheets of paper that have cut out little squares in them. You put it on the paper, you take the square, you put it on your tongue, it dissolves, and voila, you are now tasting colors and seeing smells.
Yeah, I know. I go back and
Go on.
yes, I know. I go on based on the movie that I watch, Red, R-E-D, with John Malkovich and Bruce Willis on it.
Good
Great movie.
Great movie.
Great.
And I believe John Malkovich, the actor, that the persona that he portrays, went through a lot of that when he was a test subject.
Did you know that the reason they will not allow non-official stamps in the federal prison system is because of LSD? In order to mail something to a prisoner, the stamps, or if you want to mail them stamps, the stamps have to come from an official source, like USPostalService.com or something of that nature. Because it has been extensively documented where they will hide LSDs in things like stamps.
Did not know.
The more you know.
Future Howard is really going to hate when we get to this part when I have to try and figure out what to put like as the topic down in the chapters, because I have a feeling putting down LSD is going to get us flagged by the algorithm.
Ask the AI chat.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't ask me why I know that much.
The orange says slow down.
Well, speaking of orange, Mark, I got a good segue for you.
Orange, you gonna tell me?
Yes, another liqueur that I'm going to try for this next round.
Stronger.
43.
Yes. That is also featured in one of the China Spy app liquor people that I watch.
There you go. So reading about it, previously I was in Italy with Frangelico. Now I move over to Spain, where this is from. 43. 43, you're absolutely right. Is a secret Spanish family recipe of Mediterranean citrus fruit infused with selected botanicals. Our pre-served one. Here we go. Yes, very citrus forward. A little bit of chocolate in there too. Tastes really good. It reads on the bottle, 31% alcohol per volume. So not as much as the other one. But very delicious, very smooth. Again, I think I would use this as something like after dinner or after a meal, just to soothe the palate, to help out with digestive. But otherwise, I think it's delicious. I didn't give Frangelico a rating either, but I think both of these is an easy 4 out of 5.
Wouldn't that one be more than the other one? The Frangelico was 23%, wasn't it?
The Frangelico was 20% alcohol per volume. Yep, sorry. So yes, this is 31% alcohol per volume.
Okay.
So yes, you're correct, JS.
Smells right.
Yep, no, you got it right.
See, you need to be on the show more often. You bring the weird stuff, and we don't get the samples very often.
There you go.
I'm not mistaken. That's one of your dad's favorite drinks, isn't it?
Both of these are my parents' favorite ones. That's why I have them in stock. For when they visit.
Stock. It's like he's a damn store.
Hey.
Curtis, you've been awful quiet this time. You know, don't be scared to interrupt. I do it all the time.
I've noticed.
How's your Simply?
I finished that.
Oh, waiting for another.
No, I moved on. Again, limited options, and I picked something that I didn't know what it was going to be and could be bad. So instead, I picked something that I did know what it is and would be bad, which is Busch Light. A solid one, but at least I knew it would be a solid one.
I have not seen Curtis drink one of those since like Boston's Pizza.
When they had the like crappy beer night, it was like 50 cents a can. Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
I know. I did let Kidder know. I live outside of Seattle now, and there's a little strip mall down the street from me, and they have a Boston's Pizza, but they do not do the crappy beer night, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you are.
Which was a shame. That was always pretty popular.
It was.
There. I
think that's the last time I had Old Milwaukee too.
Wow.
Yeah, that was always a good time. But yeah, that place was always packed on crappy beer night.
It absolutely was.
Which always then is amazing that like it went under. You know.
I know.
So, JS, you're making sad faces.
Yeah.
He's basically saying that we're slow going around the table, and he already wants a third one.
Some of us have to.
His third one?
Who knows? I only ever really count the rounds when JS does the whole, hey, Howard, say the thing.
Hold on. I got this.
Otherwise, I just kind of hit it when I feel like everybody else is ready. But when JS is on, he kind of dictates the pace that everybody drinks. So,
Mark, what do you have in there?
What doesn't he have in there?
Nunya.
Nunya. I saw an IPA in there that calls your name.
That is not my fridge.
Disowned.
2 gingers.
Hey, Howie?
yeah.
Say the thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been queued up by one JS Gunslinger to let you know that we are now entering everybody's third favorite segment on the show, and that is What's on Tap? Round 3. Drink!
Good gingers.
Also, I have found that if I let JS do that transition, nobody stomps on it, and it's like the smoothest transition I have the entire show. Otherwise, anytime else I try to make a nice smooth transition, somebody jumps on it. So,
sorry.
I don't know radio etiquette. I just talk.
Oh no, it's okay.
And drink.
It's just one of those
We
things
can
that
be
makes
on
the show
television.
fun. Howard tries to make a smooth transition to another topic, and somebody stops him almost every time. The ones that get through are the ones that are just kind kind of a sloppy mess. And it's like, I made it to that topic somehow and nobody stopped me.
Ooh. Okay, so that was. I'm not going to be productive in the morning. You sons of. Anyway, that was 2 gingers and Dr. Pepper. So now you have the kind of the smoky spice flavoring that comes with Dr. Pepper with an uplift of a like orange lemon zest citrus that comes out of the 2 gingers. It's a really
What?
It's a really odd combination. Hey, that's my gig.
All right
What kind
then.
of doctor is Dr. Pepper anyway?
I know.
I got stuck with 2 gingers, and I'm like, okay.
And then
And then there's Mark.
I think 2 gingers was one of my dreams last night, but you know.
He's not even going to be able to make it through his
My wife
review.
doesn't watch. It's okay.
I mean, sometimes she's ginger.
She's got red hair right now, so
Yeah.
you know.
See?
So it's a plus one. Got it.
Help me,
Yeah, so
help
like,
you.
you get the spice and the citrus kind of working together. Really good combination. It's kind of weird, but it's really good. That or I'm just drunk.
On
If he
your
had a
10th
blueberry
round.
beer, we could give it to him, and then we would know.
It's
That'd be
not
the
done yet.
baseline.
It's a blueberry beer. I could tell you if I was drunk or not.
Well, that specific brand, whatever.
If I
It
said it
was.
was good, you know.
You're gonna come take a pull off the fermenter.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Ride. But, you know.
It's basically done. It just needs to be carbonated.
That damn fruit fly here that is like dive bombing me. Good thing I don't have any ammo in my pocket. Oh, wait. I do.
we're not playing what's in JS's pocket, just for the record.
That was a funny show. That was a very funny episode.
Was a good one. I do have 2 mystery Starbucks cards that I have no idea how much they're for or what's on them.
To me, the only thing that I hated myself for in that episode was Future Howard got it in his mind like, we're gonna have a scoreboard, and then I'm like, crap.
Well, I liked it. I liked that episode because I remember watching it where local geek and well, many of you were guessing what. Let me guess. I think it was JS found inside of a vehicle, and from Q-tips to paper clips to a shell to something else like gum wrappers or something like that.
Nuggets.
Chicken nuggets. Yeah, it was just ridiculous.
Oh, and a body bag. Don't forget the body bag.
Oh, true.
They found Jimmy Hoffa.
It was mostly ammo.
Yeah,
A few other things mixed in there.
yeah. That was a fun episode to watch.
Yeah, that was that was an interesting one. I'll say that. So we got some good ones coming up and coming out soon.
Bring content to the show.
Yeah, no, that's good because that means that there's less that I have to try and come up with for the show, which is good because I'm exceedingly busy and don't get to kind of keep up with everything that's going on as much as I
mean,
usually do.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen a run sheet in like 6 months.
Try
Hey.
like 2 years.
Hey, if you want a run sheet that nobody else followed,
I tried my best to follow them.
I always added something to it.
yeah, that just went by the wayside as I got more and more busy. I was like, no, I don't. Now,
My
Now, if I have a bunch of topics that I want to put, I just create a quick little Google Doc and just have them listed, and then I know that I can bring them up.
Speaking of adding things, I wasn't planning on having a round 2 for this episode, but it, I'm having the Christmas cookie that the kidder had last week. So
Local Geek throwing down the F-bomb for the festivities.
Yes. Make
Put a
Hallie
bow on
push
that.
that button.
3 button pushes to cut that out, so it's not as simple as you think.
Look at the questioning face that Local Geek has right now.
I'm questioning how you guys both gave it like a 4. It's not bad, but it's not as good as a 4 in my opinion. I'm gonna give it a 3. Like, it's got a little more bitterness than I was expecting off of a Christmas cookie.
If I remember, it was a 3.5, so it's not like a 4, okay?
You round
You
up.
are either
You round up. You round up.
You guys Canadian or what?
I'm with the doc on that.
I really enjoyed that one. Pretty drunk, I think. I enjoyed that
See,
one.
that's maybe our problem is you're pre, I'm post.
All right, we'll get you a second one. That way, next week, you can drink it as your first beer, and then we'll have a real true rating for it.
I mean, I do have 2 extras.
All right. All right.
Wait a minute. What was I going to get Hallie for beer again? Oh, yeah. Tractor beer. That's right.
I mean, like I said, it's not bad. It's just not up high enough to hit that 4 mark for me. But I think a 3 is where it's going to land.
So what you're saying is a 4.8 or 4.7 with the Malort and seltzer is just outrageous.
Yeah, insane.
For many reasons.
In
For
the
many,
end,
many,
phrase
many
before
reasons.
I think this is the wrong group.
Excuse us
But
for being here for over 3 years.
Use us for being sane.
My bad.
you know, I have a competition coming up in Chicago in when the hell is that one? August, something like that. I can bring you back some real Chicago Malort if you want. I ain't drinking.
That's fine with me.
Hey, did you see Youngling is being distributed in Chicago now?
They made it this side of the the Mississippi thing.
Well, it's still on the other side of the Mississippi, but
Yeah, I'm just saying.
North.
Sorry. Directions got.
It's north of the Mason-Dixon line.
That's the line that I'm thinking of.
So they were only available when we see there. It was 27 states available before, and now they're finally kind of coming to the Midwest-ish since they got brought out by Coors.
Yuengling.
I bet it's just north of the Everglades.
Was it Molson Coors that brought them out, or was it Budweiser?
I'm looking online.
I didn't know they got bought out.
Yeah,
We are
because
looking. I'm going to start on this fat tire.
No, it says here that Yuengling was not bought out by Coors.
Get her. Like,
Yeah.
2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
They're,
Just
they're
tell me.
available in 26 states now, so they're over halfway there.
Okay. Oh, which beer was it that got bought out that we were talking about like 2 weeks ago?
That was Line Cooper.
Line and Kugels.
Liney's. Okay, that's what it was. It was Liney's.
All right, 2-minute warning, Mark.
I got mixed up.
Fat tire,
I'm-
12 fluid ounces, 5.0% alcohol by volume. Fat tire, high quality, low impact, potentially good on your knees.
I'll give you something on your knees.
Because it's a low impact, you know,
No,
like an elliptical.
no.
Are you sure you don't want this episode to go on for another half an hour, Ollie?
No.
He left the door open on that one.
Yeah, Fat Tire. That's pretty good. That's got some decent flavor to it. 3.8992.
Thanks, Kidder.
I've been a fan of Fat Tire for a while. I don't have very much of it, but beer. I'll agree with you, Howie. Kidder. I'm not drunk.
On that note, I'm going to try a seltzer. I'm going to move from Italy to Spain to California.
You're going to go with TV static?
That's a mistake.
I know it is a bit. It might be a big mistake. I'm going to try. Sorry. High Noon grapefruit seltzer. Mark's favorite. And rate it. 4.5%. No added sugar. 100 calories. Gluten free. So let's see what it does. Yeah, it's just a seltzer.
Static water.
Yeah.
Yep.
0.5. 0.5.
100%. If TV static had a flavor, it would be a seltzer.
Yep. 0.5. 0.5 is the rating.
And on that, final rating on this very boozy episode of the Triple B. Kidder, we've been talking for quite a while and you're running away.
He's just not ready for it to end.
Nice try, Howard, but you failed.
I mean, joke's on him. I can do the cheap plugs too. So
That is good. You don't have the enthusiasm.
It's like you did it before, like 5 weeks ago.
yeah,
He did. It was just me and Howie for that episode.
yeah.
You haven't seen the one with me and Howie that happened after that.
Oh, no, I have not. I felt special. Like I got to be the co-host for once.
Yeah, you beat me to it somehow.
Tenure, Derek. Tenure.
I mean, that does have the most visits in his history episodes. I'm not hammered.
Yet.
Anyway, yeah, normally this is where I would tell Kidder that it's time for the cheap plugs, and but he's run away. So I guess you guys are all stuck with me doing the cheap plugs unless he comes back, which who knows? Will he be back?
Maybe never.
This will be a cliffhanger. We'll see. But I'm bringing it around. We are the Triple B. You can find us at our home in cyberspace at beerbluesbs.com. That is the place to find everything you could possibly want to know about the Triple B. Find all of our links to where we are on social media. You can also find our merch store. That's right, the new and improved merch store that we do through Steam Labs, which also at Steam Labs, you can donate to the show. A great way to help us keep this show going because these drinks are expensive and we drink a lot of them. So also we now need to pay for JS's rehab bill, but that's all part of it. And so you can help us out by donating at Streamlabs. The full address down below. As I said, we are on social media. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. There, we tend to post a lot of our shorts, fun little clips. So, hey, if you haven't seen all the shows and you want to go back and see some of the best moments of the show, great place to look. And every now and then we post something extra up there. So make sure you check that out. Of course, if you're watching this train wreck live, then you're probably on YouTube and you have found us. Great. Hopefully you'll hit that subscribe button. Stick around. Check out some more episodes. Some of them are actually pretty good. You can also find us on all of the audio platforms. I know the holidays have just ended and, everybody's travel is done, but hey, if you do have more travel coming up, we're a great show to take with you. We make those hours just smoothly cruise on by. You can find us on all of the audio podcasting services, from Podbean to Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, Stitcher FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're on all of them. So pick your favorite. Just search for Beer, Blues, and BS. Download the show. Take us with you. We'll make sure that you have a good time. Also, since we're hitting everything, and have I hit everything? I think I've hit most of it. I mean, if you're looking for music, you can check out Kidder's playlist on Spotify, The Killer Kidder Show. It's got more music than you could shake a stick at, so make sure you check that out. And hey, if you're one who enjoys the hobby side of stuff that I tend to do, like all these models that I assembled while we were kind of in this last part of the show, and hey, I didn't glue anything to my fingers this week. Victory. But you can check out Howard's Cave of Wonder. It's where I vlog all about my hobby journey. So check that out. And with that, I think that's enough cheap plugs, which brings us to final thoughts. So, yay, let's start with the newest guests. Give them a shot to go at it. So we'll start over with Curtis. Curtis, final thought.
If someone tells you IPA Appreciation Month is a thing, don't fall for it.
Good one. Good one. I'm glad that you're telling people this after IPA Appreciation Month has already happened. So
You could have done that 6 months ago.
Well, you shouldn't have fallen for it in the first place.
I'm gullible. What do you expect?
all right. Big Badda Boom.
Final thoughts when it comes to liquor. Stay on that side of the lake and stay in Europe.
Okay. Good one.
Yeah.
Good one. Would have been better if you would have said stay on that side of the Mississippi River, because that would have been a great
Yeah,
callback.
you know, that would yes, that would have been a nice one.
That would have been
Missed opportunity, sorry.
yeah, it's okay. It's all right. The local geek, give us a final thought.
This beer's trying to kill me.
That's not a final thought. That's actually what's happening.
You're not wrong.
That's not paranoia, truthfully.
I don't know if the multicam was on for that, but I had like 3 or 4 sneezes there from this one. Shot my earbud right out of my ear. But yeah, I had a final thought and I lost it talking about that. But that's how it goes.
Yeah, you know, now you just think about it. You might have it again for next week.
It was in response to what JS had said, so it's gone. I'll probably write it in the comments because it'll come back to me when I hear it.
Yeah. And speaking of JS, the current drunkest member of the show, JS, final thought.
That guy. Be the gray man. What I mean by that is, if you're going to be the guy that's prepared, the guy that's ready for, how should we say, things to happen, be the gray man. There's nothing wrong with having a spare thing ready in case, evil should pop up, or having even having a good gentleman's knife. Doesn't have to be a gigantic, tactical, super awesome, badass thing. Just a good gentleman's knife. This one was $25. It's been really great. But be prepared. Not necessarily all the time for the bad things in the world, but just be prepared. Be prepared to open that box. Be prepared to cut the seatbelt. Be prepared to do CPR. Just be ready for the world and be the person that the person next to you needs when they need it. That's all I got.
Always come in with the wisdom.
An American, at least I know I'm free.
And yes, that means Kidder's back just in time to give us his final thought.
Those plugs were 85%.
Is that where you ran off to?
Were you getting hair plugs, Kidder?
Man.
He had to go polish. He did go polish his.
Plugs of some kind.
Let me see here. Let me do what I can. Here we go.
I'm not gonna lie, I like this crew. Kidder makes fun of me and they just like jump all over him. It's great.
I believe the buffer is upstairs to your left and in the garage.
No, he just went straight into the dungeon to try those plugs.
Kidder, if you want to to stop this, you better end the show.
I had to
I'm
drink
not
more to
mistaken.
get
The
rid of
dungeon is
that.
downstairs and to his left. So
My true lair is in JS's new building. If only you knew. JS, you want to leave a final plug for your new business location?
You know what? Since it's past the first of the year now, we've announced to our clients and everybody else that we are the best grooming salon that this state has to offer. If you've got a furry friend, if you've got cats, a dog, a hamster, a rabbit, hell, even bring us a horse, we'll do that. If you want the best grooming experience for your furry friend, come see us at Pet Place Grooming. We're at 55 Memorial Highway in Bismarck, North Dakota. We'll give them the spa experience that they deserve.
will you give my horse a voluptuous booty?
You know, I can do an AC/DC design. I can give it a JLo booty. I will do whatever you want it to do.
Your horse is going to have the boots with the fur. I was also thinking that you could take your hamster or gerbil and get a good lion cut on it.
Oh, yeah. That'd be good.
Anyway.
We have made several a cat look like a Christmas dragon, and it turned out pretty damn good, if I do say so myself.
So again, that's Pet Place Grooming, 555 Memorial Highway, Bismarck. I'll take the shooting through the screen, a confirmation that it was correct. And it's on the screen.
That is correct, there, Kidder. That is the right address. Come
We'll have
see
to
us.
get that fixed on Google. Anyway, we heard final thoughts. We heard the cheap plugs. We got everything and then some. And yes, Howard can certainly shake a stick at that. For my snow globe, which was a tease from last week, yes, it's a Star Trek snow globe with the NX-01 Enterprise in there. Exclusive snow globe. I'm the man, the myth, legend, Mark Kidder. Thanks for joining us for this and every episode of Beer, Blues, and BS. Thanks for all these jamokes for being here as well. Make sure you join us next week for another outstanding episode. And by outstanding, I mean you may be standing near a bus and a puddle, and then the bus goes through the puddle and gets you wet and makes you contemplate life choices. But join us again, because you never know what kind of train wreck we're going to have on this show. So remember, there's free beer tomorrow. Keep your glass at least half full, and we'll catch you on down that chic. Yes. What is that word? I don't know. I was going to say stick shaking or shaking Tuscan Highway. Have a good one. See you in the next episode of Beer, Blues, and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
All right, one down.
I need my additive here.
Curtis, I don't know if Kidder told you this, but we record 2 episodes a night.
Okay.
Oh, that means I have to find 2 more drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll be right back.
And everybody left. I'm here. Oh.
The
So,
the happy beer or okay. I'm back in spirit.
yeah.
I also found another IPA in my fridge that I am going to drink tonight because I don't want to destroy my taste buds.
Derek, you're horrible.
I found the same one that you had. I don't want it.
So, since I don't have any more beer in the refrigerator, which is, something that you're not supposed to do, I have liqueur. Is that acceptable?
Any drink is acceptable.
All right, let's do it.
The rules of the Triple B is you just have to have something to drink. You can have water, you can have soda, you can have wine, you can...
Wine? I don't know if I want to open a bottle, but I'll definitely get the liqueur out.
Yeah. No,
I've had coffee numerous times on the show.
Yeah.
Be right back.
Yeah.
All right. I got 2 beers, and if I get through that, I got Bearface and Dr. Pepper.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds like we're ready.